Hello everyone. We are really glad and happy to be participating at Semana Nacional de la Ciencia y la Tecnología with our project, and we are Agüero, Arias, Bernardes, and Luna Villanueva. We hope that you find this presentation very helpful as it was for us. During the year 2020, many things have changed due to the pandemic. For us, educators has opened a door for many changes, and one of them was the huge digital advance of having classes online and, of course, working from home. From an academic perspective, students are exposed to digital risks since they spend more time online with tasks. Also, they spend a lot of time in social networks. So they are exposed to be in contact with strangers, and this risk is known as grooming. So this is what we are going to talk about in this project. So grooming consists of deliberate actions by an adult to establish a friendship with a minor for sexual purposes throughout the internet. This person uses tactics such as seduction, provocation, and the sending of images of sometimes pornographic content in return to get personal information from the youngster. And as a result, the child performs acts of sexual nature in most of the times. As I mentioned before, during this pandemic, teenagers spend so much time in social media, and the overuse of games online and social networks, not only used by students but also used by many people. They are exposed to meet new people all the time, and it wouldn't be a problem if they were not exposed to dangerous people trying to deceive them in order to take advantage of the situation. But this sometimes happens, and it's a possibility that children and youngsters should be aware of. To add more, students can be exposed to many threatening situations such as abuse, blackmailing, and fraud. Sometimes, in many cases, they may think that it wouldn't be a possibility that these kinds of things happen to them. But unfortunately, it is a really common and recurring situation nowadays. In order to know how social media influences our students, they were asked to answer a poll on this topic. The items developed were about their interaction with social networks and the ones they use the most. And what we found during this poll was that many students answered to this question if they have dated someone they met online. Most of them answered yes. If we see the poll, we can notice that it was almost more than 50% of the students, which we found very interesting and also very worrying. One relevant case we wanted to include in our project was this of Micaela Ortega's case. We believed it is relevant for our project because it is related to grooming. This case was about a 12-year-old girl who was found dead after she started having contact with a stranger who disguised as a 12-year-old girl on Facebook, and this person deceived her, and then she was found dead. As a result of this case, Micaela Ortega's act was created, and it consists on educating and creating awareness on people at schools and also at public services. One of the items that are included in Micaela Ortega's act is of creating awareness on people and also how to avoid situations of grooming, which we found really important and relevant. Also, making campaigns, workshops, and train educators to inform students about the risks that they are frequently exposed to in social media. So, based on this topic, we developed a course of action, which is the following. We decided to introduce this topic of grooming using this famous game called Among Us. And this game is based on some characters that you can choose, and they are crew members of a spaceship. The game is based on attempting to keep the ship all together and return back to Earth. But there is a problem because one crew member has been replaced by a parasite who wants to eliminate the other crew members. Moreover, we use this game as a metaphor in order to show students how exposed they are to people who want to deceive them, and also they want to gain their trust. So students found this topic really interesting because this is a well-known game for them. They know how to play and they know the rules and what this game is about. We selected the project-based learning method as it is the most dynamic classroom approach that exhorts students to look for a solution to real-world problems. This method enhances critical thinking in order to analyze information and form a balanced judgment or creativity, and team competencies to effectively work with others towards shared goals. Regarding our objectives, we found really important that students work in groups and design the campaign, also think critically about the situation in their communities. To add more, students were able to share ideas and exchange opinions with their classmates. Also, we found really relevant for them to discuss a topic such as grooming in a very reflective way, to create their own opinions, and last but not least, to use social media to spread grooming awareness. So we consider some activities for students, and one of them they were related to make some quizzes about some questions for them to think, also for them to watch videos about a real story related to grooming. Also, we found really interesting the wall of thoughts, in which they could express how they felt about the topic. And last but not least, we made a KWL research guide, in which we asked them what do they know about the topic, the things they wanted to learn, and if they learned something at the end of the project. As regards assessment, we consider this quotation by Black and William. Assessment is to be seen as a moment of learning, and students have to be active in their own assessment and to picture their own learning in the light of an understanding of what it means to get better. So during this project, we considered that students, they needed to be active participants during their assessment. So we consider different kinds of assessments, such as peer assessment, individual assessment, and also group assessment. We included during the assessment period some activities such as the following. Some students, they have to create gifts to show how they feel when, for instance, the class started, when they participated, when they liked the topic, when the teacher gives homework, how do they feel about this. And also, another activity that we consider was talk and tip, in which they had to choose. Also, they had to create their own gifts, and also they had to show how they were feeling at that moment. As final remarks, it is worth adding that although grooming may take place outside academic contexts, it should be addressed as part of the curricula, especially when online communication is the scenario for remote education nowadays.